All right, good Friday evening, everybody. It is going to be an eventful weekend weather-wise. We've got a big change coming over the weekend. There's an Arctic front on the way. Now, you'll notice two fronts on the map here. There's a stationary boundary already in place over Mississippi. Not really going to do anything. It's waiting for that cold air to come in to push everything through. And the cold air arrives, I'm thinking Saturday night, so about 24 hours, maybe less than 24 hours from right now. And you're going to know it when the front comes through because winds are going to start howling in from the north and temperatures will drop sharply, at least a 20-degree drop on average, but I really think it could be a little bit more than that as we go from Saturday to Sunday. So tonight, especially south of that stationary frontal boundary, it's going to be kind of warm for December and soupy with temperatures just falling into the mid-50s and staying there close to the dew point level. So I think in South Mississippi, especially in the Pine Belt, we could see some issues with fog first thing in the morning. In fact, look at Jackson already. We're at 53. The dew point's at 53, which means the relative humidity is 100%. We are saturated with moisture at the surface, and there's no wind to break up any potential fog that could develop out there. Now, we are not, as far as I know, under a dense fog advisory. Actually, that has just changed. All right, so I don't have the graphic in here, but we have now been put under a dense fog advisory. Let's go ahead and check the expiration until 9 a.m. Saturday. So that makes perfect sense that we would be under a fog advisory because, again, these are the perfect conditions for that. So basically, along and south of I-20, you're going to be under a dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock on your Saturday morning. This is where the visibility could be reduced to about a quarter of a mile or less. So you got to be careful first thing in the morning if you're going to be out and about. Here you see it. Temperatures 50s. Basically in the southern part of the state. Now farther north on the other side of that stationary boundary, it's going to be a little bit cooler. So there's going to be a little separation between the temperature and the dew point and maybe a little bit of a north wind out there. So that would tend to break up any fog that tries to develop. So really it's only going to be an issue if you live along and south of I-20. Now tomorrow, sunshine is going to be limited. Clouds are going to dominate. But it's still going to be a mild day for mid-December because we'll see a south breeze out there. Your highs ranging from the mid-60s to the lower 70s. But this is going to be the last warm day that we're going to see for a few days. So use tomorrow afternoon to prepare for the colder weather that's coming starting Sunday and through Monday and Tuesday morning. So there's your boundary. Notice again, the cloud cover down south, and then here comes the next weather maker. That Arctic front comes blasting through. By 4 o'clock Saturday, it's still to the north of us, but give it a couple hours, and it's going to rush all the way through the state of Mississippi. Now, a couple things here. This high pressure is really on the move. It's moving very quickly. So this air mass, this Arctic air, it doesn't have time to moderate or to warm up. Usually when an air mass like this starts to move down south, as it's moving south, that air is actually, warming up a little bit. So it's by the time it gets to places like Florida, it isn't as bad as when it moves through initially in our northern states. This air mass is moving quickly, so that's why it's going to be a huge drop in the temperature, and it's going to be a shock to the system, and that's why we're expecting those numbers to go down a good 20 to 30 degrees on average. So yeah, expect the coldest weather of the season so far. Also the other thing is, because the center of the high is going to stay to the north of us, it's not going to be right over the state of Mississippi, there's still going to be some wind out there. So we're going to see the coldest weather of the season Monday morning in the low to mid-20s, but at the same time, we're also going to continue to see a north wind because the high pressure is going to be centered up to the north of us. So combine low to mid-20s with a north wind at probably about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and this is what you're going to get Monday morning. Wind chills are going to be in the teens over the entire area, from 13 in Kosciuszko to about 19 in our southern counties. We're expecting about 16, 17 right here in the metro. So that's how it's going to feel first thing on your Monday morning, which we have not had to deal with a whole lot in this fall and winter season so far. So again, prepare for what's coming. First of all, Monday morning, if you got to go to work and school pretty early and you have to be out in this, dress in layers. Maybe wear an undershirt that day, a long sleeve shirt, a jacket, or a coat. if you got to be out and about. Also, use Saturday. It's going to be nice and mild to maybe make sure your car's got good antifreeze in it because it'll need it Monday morning. We're trying to crank up and go to work and school. Also, as far as the pipes are concerned, yes, if you want to take that precaution, please do it. It's not going to hurt anything to wrap exposed pipes. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue because we are still going to warm up above freezing in the daytime. It's not like we're going to spend 24 or 36 hours below freezing. If that was the case, I'd be more concerned about the pipes. But it is going to be quite cold, so if you want to let your faucets drip maybe starting Sunday night, that might be a good thing to do. And if you got those exposed pipes that you know are especially vulnerable to a cold snap, go ahead and get those wrapped. Again, Saturday, great day. It's going to be mild, 70 degrees, so you can get out to your home improvement store and get the things that you need and get that done by Sunday so you don't have to worry about it come Monday morning. And then, of course, your pets. I know animals, they'll find a warm spot if they are outside, but if they're your pets, and you don't want them to have to go through something like spending all night outdoors with the wind howling in from the north and temperatures in the low 20s, go ahead and bring them in, or at least give them a really nice place to stay if they're going to have to stay outside. Give them a warm place to stay. So, yeah, take those cold weather precautions. Here's the good news. We only have to do this for a couple of days. It's going to be a very short cold snap. Monday is going to be the worst of it. Tuesday, we're still going to be below freezing. I don't think the wind's going to be as much of an issue, and it's barely going to be below freezing. And then by Wednesday, we're warming up. And at the end of next week, it's actually going to feel like springtime again. So just a brief cold snap, but we want you to be prepared for Monday morning because that is going to be kind of brutal. All right, forecast for tonight. Increasing clouds, some fog, remember, out there south of I-20. 50 degrees, your low temperature, and your sun's going to come up at about 6:43. And then tomorrow, Saturday, mostly cloudy, limited sun, but still a warm day with a high of 68 and a 20% chance of spotty showers. The chance of rain will be going up Saturday night into Sunday morning, but I think by shortly after daybreak Sunday, most of the rain is going to be gone, and it's going to be all about the colder weather. So Sunday, all day, we're going to be in the 40s, winds coming in from the north, skies clear Sunday night. We dip down into the low to mid-20s Monday morning with wind chills in the teens. Sunny Monday, but it's going to be cold, only warming up to 46. And then we drop back to 29, just below freezing Tuesday morning. And then by Tuesday afternoon, that's when we turn things around. 50s, 60s, and then 70s as early as next Thursday. And I do think we'll probably see another pretty strong cold front coming in after this 8-day forecast, most likely the week of Christmas, right before, I'm thinking, Christmas Eve, somewhere in that time frame. But we'll keep you posted on that. The main story is the front coming in Sunday and the cold weather that we're going to have to deal with on your Monday morning. So that is it for your update for this evening. I hope everybody is able to stay warm, especially Sunday and Monday. Meteorologist Austin Powell is going to be here with your next update Saturday. Until then, make it a good weekend.